Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. Before we continue, don't forget to hit subscribe, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, as well as you can follow on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter as well. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. I hope they're enjoying their Monday. Myself, it's a holiday long weekend. So my long weekend is finished and back to the real world tomorrow. But Wednesday is a very important day. If you don't know what's happening, it is the Europa League final. Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspurs are facing off. We're here. We are. We've been waiting for this for some time, about 2 weeks. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to play in another European final. And am I nervous? 150% yes. Do I believe we're going to win? 150% yes. Are we going to be facing a battle? Yes. What do I think the lineup's going to be? I don't know. I'm going to give my prediction today, but listen, we have, it's an all English final. This is basically, you can think of it as another Premier League game with some add-ons to it. It is. Listen, we win, we go to Champions League, we lift the trophy. We add another cabinet, we add another item to our cabinet. But listen, with everything that's been going on, even today, obviously the reports with Amorim and everything that happened in January, the way ex-players have been acting, the way the media, obviously the media is not all media pundits are fans, even the fan base calling out Ruben, saying certain things. I know the way the Premier League has gone, but we're in our final, ladies and gentlemen. We're going for the win. I'm hoping for a win. But listen, United have a lot to do to get there, and getting the lineup ready, that is one thing that I need to, trying to get a hold of, and that's a tough one because we're looking at trying to get injuries or people back. And like when I was getting everything prepared for the episode, like I'm not gonna lie, I was also listening to other episodes, other fan channels, articles. We have a lot of predictions, and it's like it's tough to say what's or it's what's going to happen, what the lineup's going to be like. Listen, I know news reports have Euro back, the Lit's going to be there. There's talks of Joshua Zirkzee potentially returning to the matchup as well, and it's it's exciting, but at the same time too, it's it's hard to try to predict this lineup. And as much as I know Spurs have the injuries, and I'm like, they're key injuries, and we've had key injuries too to players. Let's not, but I can't, like, yes, it's like hearing they have injuries, great. At the same time too, that I can't be like, oh, that's a easy road to the win. They have these certain players out. I'm still expecting them to show up and give it their all. Like Man United, I still believe that United are winning, but Man United can't look at that and be like, oh yeah, this is a cakewalk. They have to go in and be tough and fight against them. They still have a good D. They still have Solanke. They still have an attack. They still have players there that can move the ball, and we're going to be in a battle. That's it. Like, we're in a fight on Wednesday. So, like, hopefully Amorim makes the squad and gives it all. We finish it out. We don't have to go to extras. But I can't say this is how the game is going to go. I can't. I can't predict. Like I can take a guess. This is what I believe, but like he may have his squad. Like it could be the same lineup that we had against Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen. And just because we don't know what injured players are going to be there, but we're hoping for we're hoping for an attack where we can control the middle, transition through. I'm hoping Euro's ready to go. I know Delo is expected to be back. My question is he going to start? For me, I wouldn't want him starting. Like I know like his durability and everything, but I wouldn't want him starting. He hasn't played in like a month, and that is a risk to have him start. But I have him on the bench. Lenny Euro, he's missed one game. I have him starting. I have Victor Lindelof starting. I know some people aren't liking that. And listen, he's not our best defender, but in these European games, he's done enough to warrant that he needs to be there. Listen, Luke Shaw could potentially be there as well. It could be a combination of Shaw, Euro, Maguire, or we have Euro, Maguire, and Lindelof. It's looking at that. So when I was doing my back three, I was kind of looking at it here, and this is the danger of, I wouldn't say it's a danger, but it can be a punishment of trying to decide that perfect back line. And part of me was also looking at like, well, if Delo is coming back, you can move him to the wing, have Mazraoui come back, and you have Maz, Euro, and Maguire. That could be our perfect back three. Like I'm drawing, it's tough, and like trying to come up with the perfect back three, and I don't know. Like that's the concerning part. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I have Euro, Maguire as for sure, but the question is the right wing back and who's going to be that third defender. Like there's like when my lineup is set, I have it set. Like, but I have like I'm allowed to have doubts, and it's hard to predict. Nobody knows what's going to happen here. Like again, Shaw could play in the back with Lindelof. Shaw could be our left wing back. You have Mazraoui go back to there, and Dorgu over to the right. You have Ahmad and Fernandes playing. That's the thing. I try to predict the back three with players that are back. So obviously, I have Onana there, starting goal. Maguire, Euro are deadlock for me. Ugarte, Casemiro, Dorgu, obviously, and then I have Bruno, Ahmad, and Højlund as our attack. Listen, I know people like, why don't you have Garnacho? He can stretch the field. The reason why for me is, and I'll go back to my D. I might make a change here with it, because again, I know I sound doubtful of what the back three should be. But let's look at it here. Actually, I'm going to change it. I am going to change it, but I will reveal it later on. It's tough to try and predict what the squad is going to be with healthy returning players. And to say that trying to decide a perfect squad is it's not a bad thing. It is a good thing to have, but trying to get the right formation with the players that have been there and done their job. I might not even, I might know it. I know I'm sounding hesitant on my squad prediction. But you know what? I might just keep it the way it is. I'm going to reveal what my squad is right now. Onana, obviously, I mentioned Maguire, Euro. Lindelof is there. Mazraoui, Ugarte, Casemiro, Dorgu, Ahmad, Højlund, Fernandes. That's what I have here. And listen, like I said, Lindelof, the way he played in European competitions, obviously Premier League is a different story. We've been terrible. But we are playing a Premier League team, which, that's why I'm a little hesitant of the change. And like maybe I make an adjustment here. And that's what it is. Like they have a very physical squad. They're going to put the pressure on. They're going to play a high line. I'm talking about Tottenham. but like we need to have the defenders that need to be in those spots. So listen, maybe I bring Sean, he plays the left wing back, and Maz goes to the back three, and you have Dorgu and Shaw as your wing backs. So that could be potential. Or you have Dorgu in the back, or you have Shaw in the back three, and you take Lindelof off, and that's what you're looking there. It's tough. It is trying to make this prediction, but I think having Euro back strengthens your D. Lindelof, who has started there with everything that's gone on with the injuries to the wing back, I feel like he may just keep that there as Lindelof. That's just what I'm believing. Listen, this is my prediction. I know I can sound hesitant, but the back three can be a different combination. I've seen somewhere it's mentioning Delo is back, Masraoui in the back three. You can have Shaw there in the back three, or Shaw and the wing backs, like I mentioned. You know what? In the end, I'm going to keep my prediction just the way it is. I'm leaving it there. Because tactically, depending on where we are in the game, you can bring on Shaw, Mount, Garnacho right there. You also have Kobe Mainu as well. So you have 4 there that you can bring on and change it up. You can take off Ugarte, push Bruno back. You can move, like, if anything, like, you can move Ahmad to the wing back, Maz back if the defense isn't working. Not only that, part of me with the squad and with the depth pieces that we have here is the reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because when I'm predicting my squad, I'm like, as much as I know we were going to try and win in the 90 minutes, what if we go to extras? Having Garnacho, Mount, Shaw, Mainu, Aiden Heaven could come on. Those pieces there could be integral when you're going into extra, and that depth there is good to have. It is like having Mount, Garnacho, and Shaw and Mainu coming on. That's a good rotational piece. But not only that, with players now on the squad and the way the formation's been, you can move players around. So, for example, let's say Lindelof, Ugarte have to come off. Bruno can be pushed back into the mid. Maz there. You can move Ahmad to the right wing back. You can bring Garnacho into one of the 10s. Boom, you have that there. Delo, same thing. Delo can come on, take off Lindelof. You move Mazraoui back. Delo back to the right wing back. Same thing. Like this is a do or die situation here, and there's many combinations of how it can go down. So we really need to look at there. And like I said, let's say we're at a draw for 90 minutes. Let's say we have to go into extras. Let's say, like, after 120 minutes, your final lineup is, like, your back three is Maz, Maguire, Euro. Your middle is Ahmad, Mainu, Bruno, Dorgu. Your up front is Garnacho, Mason Mount with Højlund. Højlund can play. You can. Maybe at one point you make a change and you bring someone else extra on, but I think offensively that's what you have to have. But let's look at it here. Like, some people have Mount starting. I thought about it too. Like, when we're looking at it here, like, another option could have been, and I thought about Mount, was, like, you have Mount, like, Mount as one of the 10s with Ahmad, or, like, it's tough when you're healthy, and it's good. It is good, but sometimes the bad part is, like, how can we get this right? Like, again, our attack needs to be solid. That's what I'm leaning towards. Our attack needs to be solid. And listen, I know Højlund has struggled. I think that's the game where I think Højlund in the Premier League, Højlund in Europe has been different. Højlund does have 6 goals in Europe, ladies and gentlemen. I know he's played less. I know the games that he's played in Europe compared to the Premier League. Again, like, he's there. He's tied for Like Bruno is tied for first in a 3-way tie. Rasmus is just behind him in another tie with 6. So, like, he does well in Europe, Højlund. And for me, I know I'm saying it's Europe, but we're placing a premier side. But you know what? This could be the game where we see Højlund be what he can do. We know he can score. We know, like, we know what he can do. I know what he can do, and I know what he's capable of. And I think in this game here, I think he's coming out to play. That's what I just feel in my gut. I think Højlund's coming out to play in this game. That's what I believe. I believe that's going to be an integral part to helping us win. Like, you can say our attack and whatever, but I think that's the integral point right there. And again, if things aren't going right, changes are going to happen immediately. You're going to see it happen right at halftime. Like, honestly, that's how I'm predicting it. You're going to see this all happen at halftime with the changes if things are not going right. In its truth. And the one thing that could not go right is our attack. Again, but we need to have physicality in the middle. Like, we need to have that pairing of Ugarte and Casemiro. The one thing too is we have to be able to move the ball from the back and through in transition and proper attack. That's the one thing. And the one thing that they're going to try and do, they're going to try and do as many shots to Onana for the saves, because the rebounds are going to do the attack, but our D has to be aware as well. So we are up, we're facing a hill, and I think the rotations are going to be impactful for later on. But Man United have to come out attacking, and I think right now the 3 best, like our 2 best attackers, and nothing against Højlund, I know what he's capable of. I know it's been a tough season for him, but again, if there's a time for him to arise and be the guy who can finish like he can, it's Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. But yes, Ahmad, Bruno, they do give that chance. Dorgu, again, he's got to be smart with the ball and make those reads. Mazraoui, he can do things as well. So we have to see this through, and we have to be prepared for the ball. We have to be smart with the carrying on. We have to be right in transition. We have to pick up the man that's getting by. Defense has to be able to control the passes, the movement, and everything. What I think the game is going to finish as with our lineup is basically what I think a lot of people have starting off right off the bat, which is, Bruno playing with Casemiro in the middle. You have Ahmad as the right, Mazraoui, Maguire in the back. And then you have Mount up front with potentially Garnacho. That's how the game could potentially finish as well. You may have Shaw come in, you may have Delot. The one thing that's concerning is the wingback situation. Like I said, for me, when trying to do it, the wingback situation, because of the rumors. Listen, I'm certified that Euro is starting, because again, he's only missed 1 game. Delot is not starting for me because he's missed time. I know he's like Bruno can just be physically fit like that and ready to go, but that's what I'm looking at here. But we have to face this challenge. We know what Tottenham are going to do. This team needs to come out strong. United need to be strong off the gate. We cannot be caught sleeping. We know the pressure's on. We know we have players that can, contribute, and they've been in this situation before. Mount has played in these types of games. Bruno has played in these types of games. Casemiro has played in multiple Champions Leagues. We know what they're there. Onana has been on the wrong end, and I'm not saying this as a negative. Onana has been the finals. He's been on the wrong end, but he's been to finals where he knows how to get there. Remember that he's been in a Europa final. He's been in a Champions League final, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. We have experience. Shaw has the experience, but again, we have to be focused and prepared. And for me, thinking to start this game, that's the squad I'm going with, like I mentioned. But again, the depth, depending on the situation of the game, the depth, we have to bring on those players of Mainu, potentially Shaw, Garnacho, Mount, and Shaw, Mainu, Garnacho, Mount. That's going to be your pieces brought in. But again, it's all going to be depending on where we're going to be. Like I said, If Ugarte hasn't been playing well and he has struggled, Ugarte's coming off, you're having Casemiro remind there, Bruno's going to get pushed back. If Lindelof is struggling, you have to bring someone on, and you might have to bring back, you may have to put Maz to the back, and you bring Ahmad to the wing back. You bring on Garnacho, like that's how we're looking here. So, they have to be smart with the ball and look at how they're going to attack. It's tough. It is tough. Like we're seeing this here. So again, I still believe that we're going to win this game. I would love to watch it, see them hoisting it in the end, celebrating. Like Bruno wants revenge. Again, this team should be wanting revenge for the way they've played against Tottenham this season. They've gotten their butts kicked this season by Tottenham, and I think that should be motivation enough to bring it to the final and win. They should. Not only that, I think Bruno wants redemption for after the loss of Villa a few years ago in the Europa final. I'm sure Onana wants revenge after losing to the club that he's playing for now in the Europa final. I know Amram said this win won't salvage our season, but it will be a bright spot with the way the season has been. It's a win. It's a trophy. I'm accepting I want the trophy. I want back in Champions League, but right now winning that and getting us back is the bright spot. I don't care about the finances. I don't care about that. What I care about is winning and getting that there. A winning way. The trophy means a lot. And yes, part of me has that nervous thought of we could give Tottenham their first big trophy in a while. That has crossed my mind, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, the squad needs to be prepared. The squad needs to fight and realize what is on the line. Yes, I know we've had Fergie time. I know the way things went with Lyon. I know the dominance that we had over Bilbao. And I know we're playing in the stadium where we know how electrifying that crowd can be. But right now, this team needs to focus, use the motivation of the losses as a tool to help them win. Not only that, every ex-player, frickin' pundit, fans that have doubted this club after a loss, let's go. Just bring it. Arsene Wenger saying his stupid comment a couple of weeks ago, the media just slagging off on Amram and everything, ex-players saying that, Amram should go or make changes, or if he doesn't win, he's not going to be there long, slacking off. The fans that betray this club, I get it. We win, and then you go after us after a loss and basically just trying to refill, add more kindle to the fire. Win it for your club, win it for your teammates, win it for the fans, win it for your family, win it to prove all those people wrong. Just win. That's all, that's what it is. Win. I know we've had a shit season, ladies and gentlemen. I know that, and I know Bruno, and I saw his press conference, same with Ruben. I've seen Harry's press conference. I know what they want. I know what they do. I know they always mention it for the fans. Diego Dallo's interview was the exact same thing. They want to do it for us. I know that. But do it for yourselves. Do it for your teammates the way the season. Do it for Ruben, for the crap that he has endured from our fan base, from the media, from ex-players. Do it for him. For a guy who still believes. And I'm well aware of what was coming out today from the reports of potentially him walking away back in January. Good. And you know what? That would have destroyed the club if he had left. For real. Honestly, that would have destroyed this club. And I'm happy that he's there and how he's happy to fight and get this club going. And I'm happy that he's been honest about this. And I'm happy with everything that has been going down. Because again, the manager bounce would have just covered everything up again. I am happy the way, I'm not happy with the results, but I'm happy this is how it's going down, because we know what these players have been like, and I'm happy that he's trying to make changes and get this club going forward. I'm happy with that. But, we have to go the full 90 minutes. We have to go and finish it. We do. And I'm going to mention, I'm going to, you know what, I was going to do a segment after that, but I might as well through it. As much as I am happy with the news of Cunha joining United, I do not care about that right now. That's great. Cool. He's here. Great. Cunha, you're like, that signing does nothing for us. That's great. All right. Don't overshadow it. I don't care. Like, I've moved on from it. It's the truth. We know this has been going on. And like I said, until I see him there signing, doing yada, 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 don't care at this point. Because as much as that's exciting, and I know a lot of fans are excited about it, news medias, whatever, Fabrizio Romano, I know all the fan channels have been breaking it up. At the end of the day, today, especially what's on Wednesday, I don't care. Like, I do care, but at this point right now, I do not care about the signing because, like I said, we have bigger things to go forward here. Two things happened today: the Abraham thing and the Cunha thing. Great, they've canceled each other out. Great, let's go back to what's going on. The biggest game of our season in Bilbao. That's what it is. And just definitely going to go out and attack. I know there's players that are traveling, and there's questions of certain players who've declared injury could be potentially available now after being here that they're going to be declared as out for the year. I know Madison is there. Kusareski is out. There's other players missing. Hold on. I had the article here as I prepare for my episodes. If you can tell this. Just give me a moment here. So this is based on Yahoo. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm just pulling up everything here. Manchester Evening News, like I go to most of the time. Not for everything, but I do. Obviously, James Madison, I know, is traveling, but he is already out. And it's reported that he'd be missing from the rest of the season. So just taking a look here, you still have a song, Vanderbilt, Solanke, Tell, but I'm taking a look here. Who else is? I believe it's Bergevall. Let me just take a look here. This is who's traveling. Guillermo, Vicario, Kaczynski, Porro, Spence, Vanderven, Romero, Davies, Lucia, Ajayi, Sarr, Benaker, Madison, Moore, Johnson, Odebert, Son, Tell, Solanke, Scarlett, and Lancashire. That's not what I've read here. That's what I've read here, but I heard other one as well as Bergevall could be potentially playing that. Let me just confirm that because I heard that today through other channels. Yeah, Bergvall. So let's just double check that here. Yeah, because this is Football London. This was 2 weeks ago. He's supposed to be there, but this is football based on Football London. Lucas Bergvall's decision that will excite some Tottenham fans and Park Shalashu's terrifying words. So some change within me. So let me just take a look here. Again, this is based off of Football London with a green face belt. Yeah, because right now, so let's just take a look here. Yeah, because again, I'm just reading the article because again, I was just wondering because I saw Bergevall could be returning, but when I looked at the traveling squad, he's not mentioned in it. Like, that's the one thing that, like, now that I saw that returning squad based on, let's go Tottenham Hotspurs, Bergevall update news, take. So this is from the Tottenham hotspursnews.com. So let me just take a look here. If anything else, you go to the source. Let's just go to the source here. Sometimes internet browsers can be funny. Bergewall spotted traveling with teammates to Bilbao with game in San Mamés Bilbao. Spurs players jetted off on Monday, 2 days before the final. There's a lot made about the Bergewall from the video that was released on there. So there's no confirmation that he's playing. He's with the club. He just could be coming to watch again, which could be happening. And I know that's happened before. Luke Shaw, Ibrahimovic were there too with their injuries celebrating. I can't say it's it could be, he could be playing. He's not, but from what I'm expecting, he's not supposed to be there. But I know they had their injuries, and Man United fans, we can't sleep on those injuries. Or we can't use those to be like, yes, they're injured, they're not playing, we're gonna be, but we can't fall asleep. But Spurs have their injuries, we've had ours. We are healthy, which is in my opinion, we're a little healthier than what we have been. But it's we as fans cannot be like, well, they have these injuries, that should be a cakewalk for us. Listen, that scares me a little bit, because we're going to be going mentally straight with like, well, we're going to be like, well, this should be a cakewalk. No, the players should not be mentally thinking that. The fans, like myself, should not be mentally thinking that. We should be prepared and ready to go off with the game plan set by Amorim. So, it's great that we have these players back. It's tough, but we have to be smart against Spurs. We really do. We have to be smart against them. We have to control the ball. We have to be more physical with them. We have to be able to accept the press that they're bringing to us. It's there. And listen, I know the news reports today, and I'm just going to be repeating myself like I did. Again, I'm excited to hear about Kuna. Be relieved when I see him in that press table at Old Trafford, signing his contract, welcoming, taking press conferences, or seeing him sign at Carrington or whatever. It'll be exciting there. But with today, with what's going on Wednesday, I don't care. I care, but at this time, I really don't care that we signed Kuna or that he's joining. The Amorim thing that was reported, I mentioned earlier. Cool. Yes, we understand. He's here. He's still waiting to fight, and he's helping us to try and get United back to glory. Great, cool. Those lovely news cancel each other out. Great. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program, the Europa final, and hopefully United Wednesday night, hoisting that trophy, doing it for us, the fans, the club, the city of Manchester. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what it is. And I expect Ange to get ready, be there. I expect him to have his attack. I can't predict the lineup for what they're going to do, but I know their defense is going to be tough to get through. If we can somehow squeeze and stretch and get behind their high line, they're going to go. So we have to find weaknesses in that attack, and the one thing we need to do is definitely do our transition, smart passes, no long balls. We have to do that, and they're going to try and stretch us out too. They may try to do what they did against Bodo and try to stretch us out. Long balls there, make us fight for the 50-50, get behind our back. But our mid's got to win it. They do. There's going to be pressure on our wing backs. We're going to be in a dogfight. I'm not gonna deny that we're in a dogfight for this final, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. But again, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to ramble. I'm not going to make sense. I know sometimes my episodes don't make sense, but here we are. We're Bilbao, the final. Everything's here for Wednesday. I don't need to repeat what we know how big this game is. I don't. Like, we know what's going on with this game. So, but yeah, enjoy the match on Thursday or on Wednesday. Sorry, not Thursday. I'm pulling for a United win. I'm hoping for us to hoist the trophy. I'm hoping for us to get there. I'm 150% confident. Like, I may have sounded hesitant with that lineup. I was going to do changes. I know I said I was going to do changes. I'm not. The way I mentioned it earlier, of way the substitutions are, because again, my mind is prepare for 120 minutes of football. I'm preparing for all angles. That's what I'm doing, preparing for it. So again, I'll pull up the roster. So my final thing is, after, I'm pretty sure I skipped over what my final roster was going to be. Onana, Lindelof, Maguire, Euro. That's my back three. Maz, Ugarte, Casemiro, Dorgu, Ahmad, Fernandes, and Højlund. There we go. Listen, Garnacho, we know what he can do. But again, having those pieces there, like rotation. And I think when I was talking about my rotation, I didn't include Garnacho, but Garnacho, Mount, Mainu, Shaw, Dalot, those five coming on, that's your rotation right there. That's key for a second half. So again, like I mentioned it, where the positions are going to go, you might see Ahmad and Bruno up at the front. I'm just going to extend this episode, and I know it's getting ready to sign off, but like Garnacho has been good, but I think the way the attack has to be, you can have, again, for all we know, everything that I've said about my lineup is probably going to be wrong, but that's what I'm going to believe. But listen, having Garnacho, Mount, Shaw, Mainu, Dalot coming on in rotation is vital. Again, it's going to be strategic depending on what's going on with the pace of play at the time. But again, like I mentioned, the way it could finish is like I said, Maz, Maguire, Euro in the back. You can have Ahmad move back to the right wing. You could have, with Lindelof coming off, you have Maz move back to right center back. Ugarte coming off. You have, Bruno that can go there. So you have Mount and Garnacho coming in. If Dorgu is a little tired, or Euro, because I know Euro hasn't played, you can bring in Shaw. And again, if Casemiro's his legs, you can bring on Mainu. So we have depth pieces that go deep and further, and it's just a matter of waiting to see. So again, this lineup can go either way, and you know what, we'll see how it goes. They have to be smart with the ball and control, and they have to finish shots. And to be fair, Rasmus can finish. He is a great finisher when he gets his shots. Bruno, Ahmad can finish as well. So you have that there. And that's the one thing with Garnacho is he can score, but the problem is lately his finishing, his passing, that could be problematic as well. So I think planning out for 120 minutes, Garnacho, Mount, Mainu, Shaw, Dalot coming off the bench. I think that's there. Xerxes might be there too. We may see Xerxes in the final. There's chances that he could be back. I really do think that, and that's key. That's key for if he has to play in extras. That is key for hold up play and transition. That is. I know he's trying to fight for it. I know he mentioned it on Alphonso Davies, but hopefully he's there. So we'll see. Again, my lineup again one more time: Onana, Lindelof, Maguire, Euro, Maz, Ugarte, Casemiro, Dorgu, Ahmad, Højlund, Bruno. Lock it in. There we go. That's what I'm going with my prediction. So, but yeah, it could be multiple combinations, like I mentioned. So, but yes, that's how I'm leaving the episode. I'm signing off on that. That's it. I'm done. There's so much more I could probably talk about. But yes, enjoy the game Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, United. We need to. This is like, again, we know the implications. We know it's done. I mentioned it before I was signing off. But yeah, we're in for a fight on Wednesday. We are. So again, enjoy the match. I will talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys probably the day after, or I will probably talk to you guys the day after, or even try to see what I can do after the match. But yes, we're hopefully I'm delaying it by a day because we won and I'm celebrating. That's what I'm leaning towards, that we're celebrating. So one more time, enjoy the match, enjoy your week as well. Come on, United. But yes, enjoy the game. Enjoy your Tuesday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.